So look at back in December of 2008. That's when Barack Obama, or look, right after Barack Obama got elected, 40% of people said that they were Democrats. 40%. Can you see that? So 40% of people in 2008, right after Barack Obama was elected, almost 40% said they were Democrats. 35% said they were independents, and only 26% said they were Republicans. That's according to Gallup. Now let's come up to today. 2017, January 4 through 8, 25% of people say they're Democrats. 44% of people say they're independents, and only 28%. So it's pretty much the Democrats lost, the Republicans stayed pretty much the same, and the independent party grew. Look how many people are independents, call themselves independents now, 44%. So there's more people who are non-affiliated than are affiliated with a party. So if everybody who was non-affiliated voted for a third party, we would fucking win. And that's what I was trying to tell people before the election. Stop saying to Hillary Clinton, I'm going to support you, and then try to hold your feet to the fire after. Tell her, I'm not going to support you. So you change and become a better candidate, or we're going to vote third party. And if everybody who agreed with the Green New Deal voted for the Green New Deal, we would have a new president. And we would have a strong progressive party. But everyone got afraid. Everybody I know agreed with the Green New Deal, but they wouldn't vote for it because Trump. And if don't you think if the Democrats saw 8, 9, 10% people polling for a Green New Deal, they would have went, hey, maybe we should reach out to the Greens instead of fucking shitting on them. Maybe we should reach out to progressives instead of shutting them out at every turn. Maybe we should reach out to the anti-war party instead of turning the lights out on them when there's a warmonger on stage. Maybe we should let a progressive Nina Turner speak at the Democratic convention instead of not letting her speak in favor of having a billionaire who instituted stop and frisk in New York City speak at our fucking convention. Maybe. Here we go. Maybe if those people would vote. So if you vote your conscience, maybe we'll get a better country. Any comments on this?
Lots of comments. Right?
I think you're wrong. No. I honestly, I could not agree more. I'm so sick. I remember in 2000 when people blamed Ralph Nader. I said, if Al Gore couldn't fucking get 500 more votes in Florida, he didn't he didn't campaign in Tennessee, his home goddamn state. Like, people blamed Ralph Nader. They blamed Gary Johnson. You guys are the worst. I'm telling people, if everybody showed up and voted for an independent or a third party candidate, and I'm a little disappointed at Bernie. He's still loyal to the party. If he would have said, you know what, I'm running as an independent, he might have won. At the very least, Hillary might have, I don't know, he might have stolen votes from Trump, from Hillary.
Definitely.
Like, what would have happened? And like
we all know Trump voters who like Bernie. We all know that. Right. Anecdotally, I know lots of them. Mm-hmm. And so that definitely would have happened. I don't think, and who knows, maybe Bernie would have taken some libertarian votes too. I don't know, but he definitely would have taken Democrat votes.
Yeah.
And he definitely,
everybody that voted for either Trump or Hillary as the lesser of two evils would have gone for Bernie as an independent.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I did, like Jimmy, when I'm watching all this and like it's 25% of Democrats, I don't want to be a Democrat. They don't believe in anything that I believe in. They certainly don't support unions. They don't support, a health care plan that's going to benefit me. They're not anything
for single payer.
And you know what? I was just listening to the news and they were talking about how there was a low turnout on March 7th for the elections here locally in California. And it's like, yeah, why don't you have it on a Tuesday?
Yeah. Why do we have our local elections?
We're going to be taking your calls to find out what do you think will increase participation in these elections. You mean one Tuesday in March, randomly March?
Random?
March. We just had an election in November, but we have to have something in March?
Yeah, why couldn't we do this all in one election? Why couldn't we have those elections in November? Why do we have to wait, right?
Why isn't compulsory like it is in Australia? Why you have to pay a fine in Australia if you don't vote? You can stand in line and I'll quote Will Anderson. He goes, you can stand in line and draw a dick and balls on your thing and vote, and you don't have to pay a fine. But you have to show up.
I'll tell you why they don't have that here, Graham, because they don't want people voting.
They do not.
They
do
love.
not.
They don't want the working class to vote.
Our system is set up to suppress the vote, and then Barack Obama wags his finger at the people who don't vote, even though the system is set up that way to make them not vote. They do it on a goddamn work day. And they suppress the vote everywhere. Anyway, anything else?
Well, getting back to this, I'd be curious because the poll doesn't go this in depth. Out of that 25%, how many are in there just because they're holding on to some hope that there's going to be some radical change within the Democratic Party?
Right.
Or what percentage of that 25% is the just the team? Well, I'm a Democrat. This is my team. My dad was on this team. My mom was on this
Yes,
team.
I'm tired of that thinking.
Oh, so sick of it.
How are we going to make any progress with that? I'm just going to stay here in the Democratic Party. I'm done with the Democratic Party. So what's the big deal? Why can't I just join the Green Party? And why can't the Green Party become the party that's going to represent our needs? Why can't we just kill the Democratic Party?
I would like to, and I'd like to find a way to kill the Democratic Party. And I have to
because
talk
they're Republicans.
I have to talk to Nick Brana again. I know I have to reach out to him because he was on the show and he talked about the draft Bernie thing, and so we got to do something has to be done. There's lots of things being done, but something huge has to happen because these corporate Democrats who are pretending to resist Trump are doing just that, pretending. We just did a story about how Chuck Schumer is appointing corporatists to all the commissions, like the FCC and the FTC, and he's not appointing.
So we're getting the same thing that we got before the election.
The same thing that gave us Trump is what they're trying to fight Trump with.
It's the same. It's the 8 years of anyone but Bush.
Yep.
I mean, that's all we heard. You got to get anyone but Bush in there. No, come up with a real thing. That if they were an actual liberal progressive party, they would win every election.
Yes.
Everyone would be like, yeah, my jobs are better. I have health care. My kids are going to college for free. Of course I'm going to vote for them. Why would I vote for the evil Republican war people? But the Democrats are so full of shit. They're a goddamn bumper sticker. It's like someone with a coexist sticker on their fucking Prius flipping you off in traffic. That's who they are.
Well, and even the whole we're fighting Trump, we're standing up to Trump. They're not even doing that because the only thing they're successfully doing is parroting this Red Scare like we've been talking about. Meanwhile, what are they saying about Trump's plans to pretty much gut unions completely with right to work going federally? What about this disaster healthcare? They're pretty much silent on almost all of those proposals.
Everything Trump is doing is deregulating. He is deregulating everything so him and his buddies can make more money. And how can they argue with that? Because they like that. Benefits them too.
And the DNC response to that is to stream live Tom Perez and Keith Ellison.
With no solutions.
Nothing. No
with
platform.
Platitudes.
Yeah.
With platitudes and bullshit.
But
if I hear one more of those assholes say, we're going to fight for you, I will punch them. I'll show them what a fight really is. I don't want any more of your all caps tweets and your bullshit hashtags. Get out of my face.
I'm with Graham, but we do not endorse violence at the Jimmy Dore Show. Unless that violence is to overthrow a corporate douchebag.